Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'll be doing a movie review for you guys. So the movie I'm reviewing today is Night Teeth. So Night Teeth is one of the new Netflix movies that they released in the month of October, and it is a vampire movie, much like what the title would suggest. But let's get into what Night Teeth is about. Our main character is Benny, and he is a college kid. He's coming home from college, and his brother is like a chauffeur. One night his brother is like, I've got something else to do. Can you take my chauffeur shift? And Benny's like, yeah, okay. And Jay is like, if anybody asks any questions, you are me. Benny goes to pick up the clients, who are two women. We have Blair and we have Zoe, and we find out that they want to go to party all night long, and they got to be back by sunrise. That's the only thing. So they give Benny a list of 6 places that they want to go, and they go to the first place. Everything's fine. We have Benny is just waiting for them to get done, and then they come out and they go to the second place. And this is where things get a little interesting, because while Benny is waiting in the parking garage for the girls to get done, he sees cops coming and checking a lot of the cars. So he sneaks out of his car and into the hotel that they are at, and it turns out that he walks in on Blair and Zoe sucking some blood from these guys. And that's where Benny now is intertwined in this plot. And so we find out that there is 3 rules for vampires. The first rule is don't let humans know we exist. The second rule is don't feed on the unwilling. And the third rule is never ever enter Boyle Heights without permission. And so we find out that there has been this truce between humans and vampires a long time ago, and this truce has lasted up until now, when the city of Los Angeles is split up into like 5 big vampire bosses, and they each control like a part of the city, and one of the bosses wants to make a power play. And so Blair and Zoe are kind of a part of this power play where they're breaking these rules. They're trying to help their boss, Victor, basically take over Los Angeles by himself. And that's where I'm going to leave the synopsis. So let's kind of talk about the vampire genre. I feel like we haven't really gotten very many vampire things in recent years. Vampires really had a resurgence during the Twilight era, and so it's kind of nice to see us getting back to a little bit of vampire things, because I think there's a lot of interesting things that can be done with vampires. This movie doesn't really reinvent the vampire genre in any way, but I think that it's still a fun movie to watch. Just don't expect to have your like socks blown off or anything like that. I think one of the strongest parts of this movie is the likability of our main characters. So we have Benny, who's played by Jorge Lendenberg Jr., and him and Debbie Ryan's Blair are kind of like love interests, and they're so likable. Like, I just wanted to watch this movie just to hang out with them, because I think that they have really good chemistry. I think Blair is like a really nice character and really cares about Benny, even though they just met and Benny now knows that she's a vampire and everything like that. So I think that that's a really interesting dynamic, and I think that it's really well played in this movie. And overall, the cast is really good. Like, we have so many like big names in this cast, and I think that they all do really well in this. And speaking of big names, there are at least one really big name, and then one that I only know from one movie. So we have Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney, who are in this movie in a cameo role, but they're only on screen for like 10 minutes, and it's like, I don't necessarily know why that is. Like, it just seems super bizarre to have them in this movie doing this like role. Another one of the really strong points of this movie is the style. This movie is so stylistic. It isn't like a straight like neon horror movie, like, you know, those movies where everything's in like neon lights. It isn't a straight one of those, but there are a lot of neon lights in this movie, and I do like that aesthetic. The very first scene in this movie is like a car driving down like the LA streets, and it's like super shiny, and on like the body of the car we're getting the introduction played out in pictures, and it's actually super interesting and cool. And Debbie Ryan is the one that's like voicing over the exposition of like the history of vampires and stuff like that, and we're seeing it on the car, and I really just liked the style of that, and I think that overall the style of this movie is really good. And so I'm gonna end this review on my rating of the movie, which is a 3.5 out of 5. I overall thought that it was really cool. I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I'd seen a couple of the star ratings on Letterboxd of some people that I follow, and I was like, I don't know how this is gonna be, but I was like, you know what, I kind of want to watch this. So I figured I would give it a shot, and I'm actually pretty happy that I did. I did really enjoy it. I think that it doesn't reinvent the genre of vampires or do anything like new with the vampires, but I think that it's still an enjoyable movie, even if we may have seen it before. I think that the likable characters and the style really make up for a lot of that, so I do enjoy that. And so that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments down below if you've watched Night Teeth yet, and whether you liked it or you didn't like it, and why. And remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below, and give this video a like if you liked it. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye.